All right, everybody, welcome back. We are jumping into another deep dive, and we're going to be talking all about the very recent X Empire listings.
Yeah, some interesting stuff going on.
It is, very interesting and a little bit of a head scratcher, I'd say.
It is for sure.
So we've got X Empire listing on 5 major exchanges, which is great,
Yeah.
by Bitget, KuCoinGate.io, and MEXC.
Yeah.
So, right there, that's pretty impressive.
hmm
Um, but there's also one very notable exchange that is missing.
The big one.
Yes, Binance.
Binance.
And so we're going to dig into that a little bit, as well as some of the other interesting things surrounding these listings, like the fact that the listing price was actually a little bit lower than a lot of people in the community were anticipating.
Yeah, that was definitely interesting.
So yeah, we're going to kind of try to untangle all of this, hopefully figure out what these listings actually mean for the future of X Empire, and hopefully help you guys listening understand a little bit more about the whole crypto world.
Yeah, and maybe see if there are any hidden gems we can uncover here.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, when you look at these 5 exchanges that X Empire has listed on, they all actually cater to slightly different niches within the crypto market.
Yeah, that's really interesting.
You know, for example, you look at Bybit, and they're known for a heavy focus on derivatives trading.
Okay.
And so, that could signal to us that X Empire is trying to maybe attract, more sophisticated investors, investors who are a little bit more, risk tolerant.
Yeah, that's really interesting because,
Yeah.
I think a lot of people, when they see an exchange listing, they think, oh, it's just about, getting on as many exchanges as possible.
Right.
And the more exchanges, the better.
Yeah, visibility, right?
Yeah, just pure visibility.
Just blanket visibility, but
But it's not really like that.
it's much more nuanced than that.
Yeah.
It's almost like, picking your spots, like a chess game. You've got to think strategically about where you want to be.
Right.
Another example is KuCoin.
Okay.
They've kind of built this reputation for listing a wider variety of altcoins,
Well,
often before they hit those really mainstream exchanges like Binance.
Uh-huh.
And so, this could suggest that maybe X Empire is aiming for that early adoption, trying to get, dedicated supporters, kind of a community around the project before it, explodes in popularity.
So it's almost like two different strategies.
Yeah.
With Bybit, it's like we're going after the big fish.
The sophisticated investors. Yeah.
Yeah, sophisticated investors that, people who are in it to, make some serious gains. And then with KuCoin, it's like,
Yeah.
let's go after,
Early adopters.
yeah, the early adopters, the people who are really,
The believers.
yeah, the believers,
The ground floor.
the OGs,
Yeah. Exactly.
So, yeah, it's a really interesting approach, and it makes you think about, maybe there's something to this, choosing very specifically which exchanges they list on.
It's deliberate.
Yeah, it's not just random.
Yeah.
So, speaking of, strategic or not strategic, that brings us to Binance.
The elephant in the room.
Yeah, the big one.
The 800-pound gorilla.
Yeah. I mean, how can you ignore that,
It's impossible to, right?
X Empire is listing on all of these exchanges.
Yeah.
But not Binance.
Not Binance.
And, I think a lot of people listening are probably wondering,
What's going on?
yeah, what's the deal?
Is there something we're missing here?
Yeah, are they deliberately avoiding Binance, or is there something else going on?
Right.
And I don't know if we have the answer to that.
Yeah. It's tough to say for sure.
But I think we can explore, some of the potential possibilities.
Yeah, some potential scenarios that might be playing out.
What do you think is the most likely reason?
Well, one possibility is that there are some regulatory hurdles that X Empire is facing.
Okay.
Maybe Binance has specific compliance requirements that these other exchanges don't.
Right.
And so, maybe X Empire is still working through that process.
Yeah, it could be as simple as that.
Yeah, it could just be a matter of time. Another possibility is that X Empire is taking a more cautious approach.
Okay.
Maybe they want to establish themselves on these smaller exchanges first.
Mm.
Build up a solid foundation.
Build that community.
Yeah, exactly.
Get the momentum going.
And then maybe down the road, once they've got that solid foundation, then they'll consider listing on Binance.
Okay, so it's kind of like they're testing the waters a little bit,
Yeah, exactly.
dipping their toes in before they jump in the deep end.
Right.
Makes sense.
Yeah, and it's worth noting that listing on Binance isn't always, a walk in the park.
Right.
It's a very competitive landscape.
Extremely competitive.
There are tons of projects vying for attention.
And the fees, I imagine, are pretty substantial.
The fees can be quite high.
Yeah, so it's not just a simple decision.
No, it's a big decision.
You have to really weigh the pros and cons.
Exactly.
So, Maybe X Empire is just being strategic about it.
Right.
Taking their time and making sure that it's the right move for them.
Yeah, that's definitely a possibility.
All right, so let's move on to the listing price. Because this is another thing that's kind of interesting and potentially, a little bit of a red flag for some people.
Yeah, it definitely caught some people off guard.
Yeah, so the listing price was actually lower than a lot of people in the community were expecting.
Below expectations, yeah.
And, that can be a little bit concerning because it makes you wonder,
There's something going on that we don't know about.
Yeah, exactly.
Is there a lack of confidence from the team?
Yeah, is there something fundamentally wrong with the project that's causing, the price to be so low?
Is this a sign of things to come?
Right. Is this a sign that, the project is not going to do well? And I think it's important to acknowledge that, that is a possibility.
Yeah, it's definitely a possibility.
But I think it's also important to consider the other side of the coin.
The potential upside.
Yeah, exactly.
For some investors, this could actually be seen as a golden opportunity.
Right.
A chance to buy in at a discount.
Yeah.
Before the project potentially takes off.
Buy low, sell high.
Exactly.
That's the classic, investment strategy.
That's the goal.
Yeah.
And, when you consider the potential liquidity boost that these listings could bring, even without Binance, having X Empire readily tradable on 5 reputable exchanges,
right,
that could attract a significant influx of new investors.
And that could drive the price up.
Exactly.
So it's really all about how the market perceives this situation.
Perception is everything.
Yeah, if people see this as a sign of weakness, then the price could continue to go down. But if people see this as a buying opportunity, then the price could go up.
It's all about sentiment.
Yeah.
How are people feeling about X Empire? Are they excited? Are they fearful? Are they uncertain?
And that's where I think, AI tools like NotebookLM really come in handy because, they can help us understand market sentiment.
Yeah, they can analyze vast amounts of data.
They can look at news articles,
social media posts, forum discussions.
Yeah, all sorts of stuff that, we as humans would never be able to process.
Yeah.
In a reasonable amount of time.
It would take forever.
Yeah, it would be impossible.
But AI can do it in seconds.
Yeah, and it can give us these really valuable insights into, what people are actually thinking and feeling about a project. And that can help us make more informed decisions.
Right. It's not just about tracking price fluctuations anymore.
Yeah.
It's about understanding the emotional undercurrents.
Oh, why?
Yeah, the why behind those fluctuations.
Why is the price going up? Why is it going down?
Exactly.
What are people saying? What are they thinking?
What are the narratives?
Yeah, what are the narratives that are driving those price movements? And NotebookLM can help us figure that out.
It's like having an AI detective on your side.
I love that.
Sifting through the clues.
Yeah.
Piecing together the bigger picture.
And helping us make sense of this crazy crypto world.
Exactly.
So, given everything we've discussed today, the strategic exchange listings.
The Binance question mark.
The
listing price discrepancy.
The power of AI tools.
Yeah.
What do you think is the key takeaway for our listeners?
Well, I think the key takeaway is that the crypto world is complex.
It's not easy.
It's not easy.
It's not for the faint of heart.
No, it's definitely not a get-rich-quick scheme.
Yeah, you have to be willing to put in the work.
You have to do your research.
Yeah, you have to understand the market dynamics.
The psychology of investors.
Yeah, the tech, the team, the tokenomics.
All of it.
And
you have to be aware of the tools that can give you an edge.
Like NotebookLM.
Like NotebookLM, exactly.
Yeah. So as we wrap up here, I think the big question on everyone's mind is X Empire a buy or a sell?
Is this a buying opportunity?
Yeah. Is this a sign of caution?
Or something else entirely?
That, my friend, is the question we leave you to ponder.
That's the million-dollar question.
It is the million-dollar question.
Maybe even the billion-dollar question.
Maybe the billion-dollar question.
Depending on how X Empire does.
Exactly.
But, the good news is that you don't have to figure this out alone.
No, you don't.
There are tools out there like NotebookLM that can help you.
Absolutely.
So don't be afraid to explore those tools.
Yeah. And as always,
keep learning,
keep exploring, and never stop diving deep.
That's it. That's the key.
All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in.
We'll see you next time.
See ya.
Bye.